What's up, YouTube? We have a busy day today, busy schedule. We have a lot of topics we're going to talk about, but let us first get into our first topic. We're going to be breaking this news to some of you all about DMX. Let me see if I can bring up his picture. So DMX, this is breaking news, you guys, is in the hospital. And according to TMZ, he had OD around 11 p.m. and the overdose triggered a heart attack. He was rushed to the hospital, is in critical condition, and the site has received various reports from sources, but no definite answer on the state as of yet. We are told that he has some brain activity. Another source said he's in a vegetative state, and doctors have cautioned he may not make it. So I'm just asking y'all, make sure y'all pray for DMX family. It's just sad, but let's be crystal clear about this. You cannot be out here. You cannot be out here doing drugs. Suffering. This is TMZ. Let me read TMZ. Sources close tells the TMZ that the OD occurred at his home around 11 p.m. Other sources said the overdose triggered a heart attack. DMX was rushed to the hospital in White Plains, New York, is in critical care unit. We told he has some brain activity. Another source said he's in a vegetative state, and doctors have cautioned he may not make it. He also has been reported over the years, DMX, who was the cornerstone of the Rough Riders label, has battled substance abuse and has been in rehab several times. His last rehab stint back in 2019 came after he was completed a 12-month sentence for tax evasion. At the time, we were told DMX hadn't relapsed, but checked himself into rehab out of fear he might again, as he felt temptations to use creep up on him again. So right now it's reported that he is in a hospital, and we just gonna pray. But again, you cannot be out here on these drugs, on these hard drugs, because you will OD. Like let's be clear. Like, this is something where he have been constantly with this, and God to give you a chance. You'll get a chance, but you keep on dealing with that drug, then eventually you will OD, and this will be the end result. When you on these heavy drugs, it does something to your spirit. Okay. So when I read this story, I immediately went into prayer. I was like, Lord, heal him in his body, watch over his family as they go through this. And then also, I want to caution people, just be careful of the drugs that you take in your system. You know what I'm saying? Be very, very cautious on it, and go to rehab, get help, get into some therapy. But when you're constantly doing these drugs, it will end to end result of death. Let's just be crystal clear about it. Now, they have not officially came over and said that he have died or he's dead. They say it's just different. It's just rumors right now, but he's in the hospital. So we will keep you all updated on this story. I'm gonna tell you, we're gonna keep you all updated on this story, and I just wanted to let y'all know y'all will be updated on this story. I'm gonna be up all day checking the blogs, and of course the producers is going to make sure that I'm notified on this as well. But I could just remember when he was on, do y'all remember when DMX was on Y'all Fix My Life, and he was having a conversation with his son, and it was like a bad conversation? I pray that he have a relationship with his son, because I remember that he was on Yana Van Zant's show, and he was extremely high when he was on there. He was extremely high when he was on the show. So I think, and this is another thing. It will not surprise me if it comes out and they say DMX is dead. That's the end result. That is the end result when you're on those drugs. Let me tell y'all a story. I had a friend, my former best friend. He was his mother was addicted to the drugs, and she would get off, she'd go to rehab, come back, addicted to drugs. She never could really get off drugs. So her mom was looking for her. She was like, I can't find her. Usually she'll just pop up. I remember the last time I saw her was at McDonald's, and I had on a 3-piece white suit on my way to church. And I saw her, and she wasn't in the best, didn't look the best. So her mother was looking for her eventually. Her mother was looking for her, and then eventually she died. She didn't know where she was. So my uncle was telling her, why don't you check the morgue? And she laughed it off, like, okay, yeah. So she checked the morgue, and that's where her daughter was at. Her daughter had OD'd in the McDonald's restroom. She had OD'd in the McDonald's restroom, and she'd been in the morgue for a couple of weeks because she didn't have no identification, like no ID or nothing, so they can contact the next of kin. So when you're on these heavy drugs, it just the end result, it does something to your heart. You have heart attacks and etc. So we're praying for him, and we pray that he pull through, and he's gonna need a miracle. And then all you prayer warriors that's in the chat, make sure y'all pray for him as well. I'm just reading some of y'all comments or anything like that. I don't know if anybody want to call in and give their thoughts about that, but we'll open up the phone lines at the end of the show, and we allow you all to call in. All right, let's get into something. That's how I got the heavy news out first, because I said let me get the heavy news out first before we get into other stuff. I said let me get the heavy news first. We're gonna go to our second subject that we're gonna talk about. And where we go, let me bring up her picture. She making bank. Let me make sure where her picture at. Okay. Bhad Bhabie is on OnlyFans, and if I want y'all to see how much money she making, and I ain't mad at her. I think she's 18 now, and it's a lot of people that want to see how she doing. Let me screenshot so I can show y'all how much money she's going to make on OnlyFans. I ain't mad at her either. So this is $757,526.08. There she got $5,500 in tips. Then the messaging, she got $267,675. So she had made over $1 million on OnlyFans, and I'm not mad. It's a lot of people that want to see her on OnlyFans. It's a lot of creeps, and it's just a lot of people, and she's on there. So I don't know what she's showing on there. I don't know how much it costs. And I'm not even going to try to even get into that because she's just not my type. She's 18 years. I think she's 18 years old. Yeah, she's 18 years old. And she's on OnlyFans. So how many of y'all on her OnlyFans? Do we have anybody on her OnlyFans in the chat? And do we have any Bhad Bhabie people in the chat that's on her OnlyFans? Press 1 if you on her OnlyFans. Press 2, you're not on her OnlyFans. Press 1 if y'all on her OnlyFans. Press 2, y'all are not on her OnlyFans. Let me see. Hold on, let me see. Right now, press 1 if y'all on her OnlyFans. Press 2, y'all not on her OnlyFans. Let me see what the vote gonna be. Press 1 if y'all on there. Press 2. So, wait a minute. I ain't mad at it. If she want to show off her skin, I was like that, y'all be happy for her. I don't understand why y'all not on her OnlyFans. If I had the money, I would go on her OnlyFans, but I ain't got the coins. So if I had her money, I would be right over there in her OnlyFans, and we will have a good old time and see how it is, see what she about to be doing. She could be over there singing. She could be over there rapping. I don't know if she going to be being in the nude. I don't see her being in the nude at all. I see her over there rapping, singing, her getting in a sewing machine and sewing, knitting sweaters or something like that. So, I mean, I don't see an issue with it. If I had the money, I'd be nosy and see what's going on over there. who's to say that she's automatically going to be in the new? We didn't say she was going to be in the new. That y'all just assuming that because OnlyFans. Do y'all know it's people on OnlyFans that sing? It's rappers over there on OnlyFans that's rap. It's artists that's over there that do artist work. They don't be taking off their clothes. So I just think a lot of y'all be assuming that she's going to be over there taking off her clothes. That's what y'all mindset is at. Hold up, wait a minute. That's what y'all be thinking. Okay, so if y'all want to go over there and support, I don't think this is where she is 18 years old, so she's legal. Okay, so I'm gonna just tell you that right now. You ain't no creep. She's 18 years old and stuff like that. Okay, I don't see the problem. Some of y'all had y'all first child at the age of 18. Let's not. We can go down memory lane. Some of y'all had y'all first child at the age of 17. So she is legal. It's sad how OnlyFans turned out. It was really to market a product now. And who's to say that that's going to be the product of her showing her legs and stuff like that? Y'all just assuming that. Okay? I'm just saying. So I'm not going to join her OnlyFans. So if anybody had an account, I could be nosy so I can come back and report to y'all what's going on over there. I don't know what's over her OnlyFans. Whatever it is, they buying into it. And she's 18 years old. Okay, so she's legal. So don't come out here and talk about, oh, she's underage. She's not underage. She is legal. All right, she's legal. Did I say it right? Okay, because some of y'all will be up in this chat. She underage. Baby has beef with Dr. Phil, and she is demanding an apology by April 5th or something like that. Yeah. So I'm going to talk about the Dr. Phil. So she was on this particular camp where they take all these kids that have disciplinary issues. And when she was there, it was a place that is an abusive stuff was happening at this farm or at this camp. And so she demanded an apology from Dr. Phil. So we will definitely see how that's going to go. See how that's going to go out. But yeah, she is definitely demanding an apology of that. She says she's demanding an apology for all of that. So yeah. All right. Where we going right here? All right, let's get into Lil Uzi. So Lil Uzi was on there with Karisha. Did I say her name right? They was on there arguing. Let me just give y'all the tea on this child. This is so funny. So they was on there arguing, right? With Karisha, and you know, she's in, and you know, Lil Uzi goes with JT on the City Girls, and so he was arguing with Karisha, and it was like some people said it was a joke, some people said it wasn't a joke, and JT was like mad, and like she was pressed and all of this, and I want y'all to hear what JT said in this live right quick. Because after all that stuff happened, then the South Side, which is Karisha, her boyfriend, talking about, don't you be coming at my B word, don't you be coming at my B, and all that type of stuff. It was turning me on. He was doing that cussing and stuff. But anyhow, he was mad. He was like, don't be coming at my B like that. You weird. And I protected you from getting robbed from Offset. I protected you not getting robbed. And so he was just in that cussing. And I was like, and then, you know, JT was about, he was just joking. He was drunk. And this is what JT had to say. This is the live that she was on. Let me see if I can play this. I don't know if y'all can hear it or not. Give me a second. Okay, let me do that again because I want y'all to be able to hear.
Yeah. No.
Hold on, love. Wait, this it right here.
I don't want to be strong. I don't want to be. No. If I'm fucking, supporting, baby, pay me when I'm motherfucking worth.
Respectfully.
I don't care what y'all hoes said. Talking about something what she let him do. He said, "Shut up."
I'll be quiet, but when he leave, I'll be talking
again. but he really wasn't telling me to shut. That's him calling. He really wasn't telling me to shut up with disrespect, though. Like for real, because that boy.
But my thing like is,
that boy really is a nice person and sweetheart. But y'all,
it's the internet and it's the internet and these false narratives.
Nothing else wrong.
It's the internet and these false narratives because all the videos you upload when Uzi like, I love you, baby. I don't know what I'll do without you. I can't sleep at night if you're not sleeping.
I don't want to be strong.
So that's what she said, because they were saying that Lil Uzi was being disrespectful, that Lil Uzi was telling her to shut up. And it was a big thing. And my thing is this, is that she liked that. You got to understand, these women these days, they like it when you disrespect them, call them bees, tell them to shut up. And then Lil Uzi said in the video, if I tell you to tongue kiss me right now, you'll do it. Some women like that. You know, every woman don't like a man to treat them with respect, open up the door for him, you know, say my love. Some people like that, to be called out in there. It's some women that like that type of disrespect. Some people like that. You know, you may not be one of those type of women, but it's some women out here in the hood, in the ghetto, like that, talking about this is my B and all of this is my B and this how I treat my B, and B, you better be quiet and I got this, and you not getting back on the live, and you ain't getting back on this live, and if I tell you to tongue kiss me right now, you a tongue kissing. I'm like, yes, go ahead, player. Go ahead. Tell your women, get your women in check. So I'm just, hey, it just goes. Some women, like that. Some women get turned on by that. Okay. Some of y'all gonna get in this chat and act like y'all don't. But if y'all was in that type of relationship, young and dumb like JT, y'all will love that type of language. Like, come on, let's just be real, okay? Let's just be real. Some women love to be called B and all that. It's like a turn on. I was getting turned on when Southside was there. What he was saying, it's a turn on when you got a man being a little disrespectful, cuss you out a little bit. It should turn you. It's a turn on. Now, I could be getting up on this platform pandering, saying, no, you shouldn't talk to women like that. You should be respectful to ladies. You should be calling a woman a B. But sometimes people think that's you being a square, or you're being, not a good guy. You being boring. Some women don't like a guy to treat them with the utmost respect or don't call them B's. Come on. So I'm just telling it like it is. Some women in the chat don't like a man to treat them with respect, open up the doors to them, taking out the garbage. Some women don't like that. All right? Okay. Somebody said, Wiley, I don't date like Southside in my 20s. Ill. But it's some women in the chat have. I'm just saying. It is what it is. And some of y'all, that's why some of y'all is single, because y'all don't want no man being disrespectful. That's why y'all can't hardly find no man, because y'all want a man that really want to sit here, open up the door to you, chop up your food, feed you, rub your feet. And them ain't them type of men that's out here. If you want your man that's a thuggish guy or something like that, then you got to start to open up your, start laying your guards down a little bit and start putting your requirements down. I'm just telling you like it is. Some of y'all have y'all have these requirements and all of this. So sometimes a man have to cuss you out every once in a while. It is what it is. And I don't think the B word, I don't think the B word is a bad word. It's, because some people like it. It's just in term of endearment. I'm just giving my opinion. I'm giving my opinion. If you don't like it, you can always call in. But some women, they like it when you call them a B and stuff like that. It is what it is. And I'm not taking it back. It's just some women just like it. What's the problem? And I'm keeping it 100% real, So, Lil Uzi, I stand with you. I stand on the side of Lil Uzi Vert. I think what he did wasn't wrong. I just think that's how, thuggish guys or people in the hood, they operate. If you want somebody that's in the church that's going to treat you right, then you get you a little church boy, period. But if you get you a guy in the streets, you got to get that street language. I said what I said. Okay. Now, if you don't like that, then don't get you a guy with chains, tattoos, a rapper, because you're going to get those. When you're dealing with a rapper, that's the type of activities that you're going to get. All right. So some of y'all like it. Some of y'all like it and some of y'all don't. But okay. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna have to put this picture up, but right now we can get into where we going. Okay, let's talk about this. Now, this story of Jocelyn and Faith Evans. So let me see if I can pull up what they said, because obviously Faith Evans was on a show on Behind Every Man. And while she was on the show, she pretty much was saying that, Jocelyn and, they were, and Stevie, they were dating, that they were back together behind her back, and that she didn't know about it. And so Jocelyn clapped back, and Jocelyn said this OB need to keep the bricks out her way. I ain't been with that man in 4 years. I'm happily with Belisky Beats. Every time my TV show's about to drop, this old whore down melted B got something to say to stay relevant. B, you a H word. Your own husband told me and my husband last week you cheated on him with young ninjas. And you do all the time. Now talk about your crazy A kid that almost got killed, Bonnie, under your watch. I have your husband on recording begging for my forgiveness because Bonnie could have gotten killed by the animal you call son. That's why she never been under your care since. B, go make a song. And FYI, you've been sucking Stevie D for years. Before I dropped his sorry A. Bye, H. Go watch my 3 TV shows that are currently playing on national TV and streaming networks. So this is Jocelyn clapping back at Faith Evans, because Faith Evans went on the OWN network and she was saying that on the OWN network, on an episode Behind Every Man, that Jocelyn and Stevie was messing around and he cheated on her with his ex Jocelyn. And so Jocelyn clapped back. Okay, she clapped back, and I was laughing. I said, "What did she just say? A melted bee?" Yes, she did. So she was like, every time I have a TV show come out, she always got something to say. But y'all could have been messing around with each other, and Faye just keep it. And this is Faye. Why are you always getting men that's cheating on you? Biggie cheated on you with Lil Kim. Now you with Stevie, and Stevie cheated on with his ex. And let's be crystal clear, Faye. Jocelyn looks better than you. And so I'm going to give Stevie a pass to cheat on you because Jocelyn looks better than you. And Jocelyn probably better in the bedroom than you. You know what I'm saying? That's probably why Biggie cheated on you, because Lil Kim was more nastier in the bedroom. So I'm going to give him a pass to cheat. I'm going to give him a pass. If he want to cheat, I'm going to give him that pass to go ahead and cheat on you, because you're probably not that good in bed. You probably just like to do missionary style. You probably don't go down on that. So I'm definitely going to give you a pass, Stevie, to cheat on your woman with Jocelyn. I'm going to just give you a pass. Okay? So no, they did not break up. They were just talking about in their relationship that Stevie was messing with his ex Jocelyn while he was together with Faith. And Jocelyn came out and started cussing and started to drag. But I'm just going to give him a pass, because if his wife ain't really doing it, every once in a while, a man going to be able to cheat on you. And there's nothing wrong with that. Okay? It's nothing wrong with that. If you ain't really doing it in the bed, if you really ain't going to, lick and lap me like I want to be lick and lap, I should be able to cheat on you. It should be no problem. Okay? You know what I'm saying? And Jocelyn is everything in the bedroom. She is, a stripper that know how to go around the pole, that know how to do a lot of things. So it is what it is. But what Steven should have did was he should have just stayed with Jocelyn and don't deal with Faith. Why would you deal with somebody that can't keep up with Jocelyn in the bedroom? Why would you deal with somebody that can't keep up in the bedroom with you? Why? And then why would you even waste your time getting married to Faith? And let's be crystal clear. We reported on this on the Wiley Show a couple of years ago when they first got married. And her family was against them getting married. If you all can go back to the video that I did, her family, Faith Evans' family, was against her getting married because they thought that Stevie wasn't no good, if you all can remember. All right? Okay. What's the problem? They telling me to stop. What are they telling me to stop for in the chat? they telling me to stop. What are they telling me to stop for in the chat? What? I'm reading y'all comments. Oh, I think we probably gonna get a lot of phone calls today because I'm reading y'all comments. Y'all telling me to stop and all this. Okay. Y'all telling me to stop all in these comments. Okay, I'm saying it in here. What are they telling me for? They talking about stop. That's what they telling me in the comments. All right, child. Give me a second. We're gonna go to our second subject. But I said what I said, and if you don't like it, you always can call in and stuff like that. It is what it is. Y'all can just call in. Give me a second while I pull up Rickey Smiley. Because we want to get into him next. I have to pull up his picture. All right, let me go on and get his picture. So, Faith, it is what it. You always get into relationship, they cheat on you. Just be single, Faith. Just be single. Or learn from Jocelyn and learn how to be, more freaky in the bedroom. Just do that. All right. Just learn how to do that, child. Let me move on because I know y'all get mad. But it's my opinion. You don't like my opinion. That's why we had the phone lines over there. If you don't like my opinion, it is what it is. Give me a second while let me do this right quick. Let me upload that. Y'all bear with me today. This is a morning show. Look at this. Y'all getting a morning show today, child. All right. Okay. Now this is a sad story. So I don't know if any of y'all heard Rickey Smiley's son committed suicide. And so his nephew, not his son, his nephew. And so his nephew's sister came out and was just dragging Rickey Smiley, talking about my brother was under a lot of pressure to please you. My brother put drugs in his head. It was his nephew that committed suicide, his nephew. So the sister was just, calling Rickey Smiley out all on YouTube. So Rickey Smiley did a video to respond. I don't know which nephew was it, but he did a video to respond talking about I tried to help him. I tried to give him a job and all he had to do was cut his dreads, but I'm not responsible for his death. He said I'm not responsible for his death. I did everything for him. I tried to give him a better life to leave Birmingham, but I'm not responsible. Now this nephew is through marriage because I think somebody dated was in a relationship with Rickey Smiley uncle, and that's how they got related. But somebody wanted me to talk about this story, and so if you all want to check that video out, give me a second. I will bring it to y'all. The name of that video was my response to allegation about my nephew passing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drop the link in the comments. And if you all want to watch that video, y'all can watch that video. It's a 26-minute video, and you all can go and check it out. But I'm gonna drop it in the chat. But he said he's not responsible. He's trying to help the nephew out. And my thing is this: you can't blame Rickey Smiley. The guy must have some type of mental issues, and he committed suicide. But you can't blame somebody else because Rickey Smiley didn't want him to have no dreads in his hair to get a job. And Rickey Smiley said he's very well connected in the business. And so what Rickey Smiley did in the video, he put he had some of his kids in the video, some of his sons in the video, and then he had some of his nephews in the video. And they was explaining that Rickey Smiley is hard, but he do it for the benefit of us. And he want his boys to be successful men. And what gets me with the sister, you can't blame your brother's death on Rickey Smiley. That was wrong to do. And then for you to do it on social media, that was wrong. Now, we know you grieving, but I don't think that you should have went live and try to damage Rickey Smiley's reputation because Rickey told him that he should cut his dreads to get a job. That ain't on Rickey Smiley. I think she was just being very messy, and I don't think that's right. Like, don't do that. Don't just put that all out there. Like, come on now. Like, come on. Put it all out there like that. Can't blame that on Rickey Smiley. That ain't on him. And I'm glad that he was able to clear his name. Why are we policing black hair? Let's be clear. For certain jobs, if they tell you to cut your dreads so you can get a good job. This ain't no time to protest. Okay. Once you make it into the corporate boards, you're on the board of directors, then okay, you make up your mind. But if a certain job say they don't want no dreads, cut your dreads. I mean, that's not, some jobs don't like you to have on dreads. It's just that simple. No, this ain't no time for you to be up there trying to protest. If you need to feed your family, you need to feed yourself, then cooperate with the job. Period. It is what it is. Cooperate with the job. The job say cut your dreads, cut them. That ain't no hard thing. If you really want the job. If you don't want to cooperate or do the rules with it, it is what it is. Don't work with the job. Say what I said. No, everybody don't want you coming in with them dreads on your head. Some people don't like to wear it. Some people don't like you to have that in their company. And if I had a company, if I say I don't want no dreads and I'm a black man, don't come in my place of business with no dreads on or you won't get the job. And if you want to get all skippy by security, I'll throw you out. It is what it is. That's just how I feel about it. And you may disagree, and that's okay. You just can't work with my establishment. All right. If I say no dreads in my business with Wiley Enterprise Company, well, don't wear no dreads at Wiley Enterprise Company or you won't get no job. And if you want to protest, just go on outside, go on and protest in the backyard, and my security will be right there to escort you off the premises. All right. They said that's prejudice. That's crazy. What, really? So y'all telling me if somebody tell you to don't wear dreads in their company, oh, that's prejudice. So if I work in a restaurant and they tell me to put on a knit on my head, so that's prejudice too. If they tell me to put a knit over my head, is that prejudice as well? Okay. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. Well, let's get back to the original subject. That ain't why that young man committed no suicide. That young man, his nephew had issues before that. So let's just put that a crystal clear. Ain't got nothing with you to take out no drug. He had some underlying issues that he was battling with. And let me tell you, if you are battling something emotionally, spiritually in your life, please go get help. Go get help. If you are going through something in your mind, if you have depression, if you are emotional wreck, that's why it is so important to go get help. It is help out there. If you know and say, oh, I'm feeling sad, I'm feeling depressed, tell somebody, go get help. Go to your nearest emergency room and let them know. Every hospital, if you're feeling like suicidal, they ask you the question. I mean, every hospital you go to, they are bound by the law to ask the question. And you tell them that, and you can be able to go get help. But please do not suffer in silence. I'm going to say it again. Do not suffer in silence. This is why on this channel, we will always be transparent about my mental health. Just like yesterday, I was able to go get, I think day before yesterday, I went to go get a refill on my medication, and I went and I talked to my therapist. Is because I make sure that I keep in contact and I keep having conversations with people that are helping me. I make sure that I do that. I don't suffer in silence. If I'm going through something, I let her know. I was like, hey, I'm feeling bad, feeling a little down, feeling a little depressed. Just going through, I just need to talk to somebody, and I talk about my issues, period. Just like I went to this whole counseling session for about 3 months. I was with this particular counselor, and I was like, oh, I might have to sign up for another 3 months to go speak to her if you're going through something, because there's people out there that will help you, period. And Rickey Smiley seems like he's a great guy. I feel like he's very hard on the boys because in this world, they're going to be hard on you in this world. And Rickey Smiley was given a thing. They said, if you cut off your dreads, you will get more endorsements. And he got the endorsement once he cut off his dreads. So he got endorsements and stuff like that. So you got to understand where he come from. You got to understand where he come from and what and listen to that. You can't be going around, well, you know that's discrimination and that's discrimination. Listen, if you want to cooperate in this world, you got to know how to comply with the rules that is in this world. Period. I'm gonna just say it again. It's okay if you want to wear, if you want to have tattoos all over your face, then go right ahead. But don't be shocked if you don't get no job with all them tattoos and piercings on your head, on your face. If you want to put all the tattoos, you want to put Pookie, Boo, Tyrone, all them on your face, don't be shocked if you don't get no job. I'm keep it, you know what I'm saying? All right. I think Rickey had a problem with it. And the employer probably did say that. And we got to call the employer and ask. You know, they probably did say he had to cut off his dread. All right, we'll move on. We'll move on. Give me a second. Let's move on, because y'all up here, y'all want to sit here and argue. Y'all want to sit here and argue. Let's go to here. This is James Charles. Oh. So James Charles released a video. Let's get to the name of the video what he released. On April Fool's Day, he released a video. And the name of the video said, "Holding Myself Accountable." So in this video, he was really explaining to the things that happened to him dealing with underage boys. And he was saying anytime they would come in his DMs and he would find out they were underage, he would block them. And then these 16-year-olds would make a video. But my thing is this, I'm like, James Charles, you got all this fame and fortune, and you still be on Snapchat trying to get some Badussy. You need to upgrade. Stop getting on Snapchat. Go and get people around your age that you know that they are adults. Because you're constantly getting yourself in this situation. Because even a couple of years ago, you were in the same situation, alleging that you were around somebody underage. And then other YouTubers started making videos about it, start trash you about it. It was really bad. And then you got over that scandal. It's like you're going to constantly get in these scandals if you are on that Snapchat and you keep on allowing people on your Snapchat that's underage. I'm gonna be crystal clear on you. So if you know that this person is underage, then you need to do this. Don't deal with them. Like, come on. It's like, obviously, you always on your social media and you know that these people are underage. I'm gonna be clear with you. You cut off all communication. Then you said, well, I'm making this video and I'm gonna make sure anybody I come in contact with is to see their identification. And if you got to do that, then you need to stop talking to people then. Because if you got to always see their IDs, that means you like younger guys. And if you can't tell if they're adult, if they look like you can't tell, then you shouldn't be dealing with them. Oh, I'm gonna show you that and they're gonna have to wear I'm gonna give you the IDs and stuff like that. And I'm gonna take a little break so I can reflect. I'm gonna take a little break so I can reflect on it. Yeah, I'm gonna take a little break. Child, boy, if you don't stop going on your Snapchat dealing with these guys, you won't have to take no little break. Deal with somebody that's in their 30s. It's like you have a certain type. It is what it is. And if you didn't have a certain type, you wouldn't be in this same predicament. You like younger guys. Period. You don't like older guys that have facial hair. You know, I told you, James Charles, why don't you just date Lil Nas X? It look like Lil Nas X like white boys like yourself. So why don't you date Lil Nas X? Just date him. Then all that controversy that you're going through, it goes out the window. Just get in a relationship with Lil Nas X, and that will help you in the long run. Once y'all announce that y'all in a relationship, you won't be in all that mess. It's somebody that's your age. I think he's a little older than you, and just go ahead and do that. All right. So, okay, that's exactly how I feel about the situation. Just go ahead on with Lil Nas X, okay? And both of y'all can be getting on the pole, be going down there twerking on somebody because you know he's a twerker and all that good stuff like that. So you won't have no issue. Just go ahead on, get you that chocolate peen, and don't be worried. Because the one thing about it is, you get that chocolate peen, it won't be no issue. Just go ahead with Lil Nas X and everything like that, okay? Now, let me give y'all a little update on Lil Nas X since we're talking about him. He, y'all know the same shoes, right? That's supposed to come out. Nike said no. They filed, they got a court order to stop all the sales of the same shoes. So the same shoes will not be coming out. So all the people that thought that with the human blood and all that, Nike said we are going to get them on copyright infringement because Nike was getting dragged in these streets. Candace Owens was dragging Nike. A lot of conservative people were dragging Nike, and Nike was like, "Okay, since y'all want to drag us, we're gonna sue that company. We don't want to be bothered with it. Y'all want to play around? We're gonna sue that company. We're not going to allow that company to deal with us like that." That's exactly what happened. So the company that did it, they was like, "Listen, we're gonna sell these shoes without," and Nike was like, no. Y'all ain't about to use our logo and do that. And Nike sued them. So they can't put the shoes out. So I don't know what's gonna happen with people that already paid their money because they sold out. And the judge put a halt out on all sales, so they can't even ship out the orders. So we'll keep y'all updated on that, and we will open up these phone lines and allow y'all to call in. So give me, oh, excuse me, I didn't mean to burp like that, but I drunk that. I drunk that Red Bull, and that Red Bull had me burping. Yo, excuse me. Excuse me, how to me. Excuse me. Oh my god. Oh god, I know y'all drag me in them comments. I know they calling me Wendy Williams and everything else in them comments. Give me a sec. I know they dragging me in them comments. Oh wow. Oh god. What are you doing? I was drinking my Red Voice and it just came out. My apologies, producers. My apology, producers. Oh gosh. My apologies to all the producers in the chat. Oh gosh, my apologies.
Your show now, press 1.
Okay.
Your show is scheduled to start in 24 seconds.
646-716-8447. Give me a second. I'm going to put the number on the screen. Give me a second, you guys. And we don't want no
Your
trolls.
show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Blog Talk Radio.
No, I'll drink this. You need some turn that acid reflex. Did you? No, it's just a little burp, you guys. All right. So if anybody want to call in, the number is 646-716-8447. Moderators, because y'all post the number in the chat. Give me a second. I want to make sure we post Post the number in the chat. That's the number 646. Give me a second. And I'll post it. I'm gonna pin it on the comment. All right, so I pinned it in here. So if y'all want to call in, that'll be y'all want to call in, that's the number. But shout out, speaking about Lil Nas X, let's go to the video. Not the video. I'm gonna see how many ratings that video got. Hold up. That video got 75 million views in 1 week. In 1 week, that video got 75 million views. Wow. Let's go to the phone lines. All right. 9867, call you on the air.
Hey, Wiley. Hey, Wiley and Chad. This is the voice from New York.
Hey.
Can you hear me clearly?
I can hear you clearly, yes.
Okay, so I had to write notes as you were going through the line because I have a lot to say, and I'm just going to talk a little bit on every topic. Firstly, with DMX, hopefully he makes it out, but I'm glad he was able to participate in the verses, and we were able to celebrate him when he was with the Snoop Dogg, because we don't know if he's going to make it or not. But Wiley, you did mention a couple of lives ago that we should legalize drugs and let people do it.
Period. I still stand on that because, like I said, alcohol is legal. Many people lose their life with alcohol. They get in car accidents and all of that, and that's still legal. People have liver problems due to alcohol, and it's still legal. So with that, entails that's legal. Why not legalize all the? And if you can remember, alcohol used to be illegal at one point, and they legalized it. So
yes, but I mean, those drugs are very high risk drugs. Instead of legalizing the drugs out there, I think we should try to figure out a way to make sure these individuals who are addicted to drugs get the help they need and push those resources into more rehab facilities and more help. Because it's obviously like he has the money, he has everything out there, but it's something that when you start on these hardcore drugs, unfortunately, is very hard to get off. And hopefully he doesn't pass away, but the future is very grim in his situation. And I understand how people who have family members who are addicted to drugs, it's like a whirlwind, just dealing with that. The second topic is with Bhad Bhabie. First of all, she's ghetto. She's ghetto white trash. Ghetto white trailer park trash. Okay?
She ghetto.
First of all, that's not how she talks. Okay. I hate when white people assume that this is how the dialect of or African Americans, like the negative stereotypes that they assume, they run with that accent or that black accent and capitalize off of it. But if it was a little black girl who said, "Catch me outside," how about that? She would not have get the same notoriety that Bhad Bhabie get. Okay, she can't speak. She talks all this black shit, but online that's not who she is. That's not how she talks. It's a mockery. Okay, and people are paying for stupidity. That's what people are paying for. And I'm tired of degenerates being famous. She lacks decorum and she's so uncouth. Okay, and like I mentioned, if anybody did this type of debacle, we would have been called every negative name in the book. Well, because she's white and she's problematic and her little rhymes and whatever she's trying to do, people do it. Now, people who are listening to her OnlyFans, they're desperate and they're simps. Moving on from that topic, because she's just a whole nother thing. This Uzi and Young Miami thing that you mentioned, okay, Wiley, your last live, you mentioned if your man cheat on you, yes, I had to write it down. You should take him back, especially he looks like Derek Jackson, okay? Then that was problematic, okay? You trolling the comments. Now today you're saying, we should condone accepting a man who will curse that out a little bit. That's nothing wrong. Why are you giving black women this type of advice? No,
that's not wrong. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Some women like to be, because JT like it. She didn't have a problem with Uzi saying that's my B. Look at the South Side.
You didn't think JT. You made it seem like we as black women should condone this type of struggle, disrespectful love, knowing that black women are the ones that are in domestic violence the most. They are there with men who are garbage like those who leave them with unwed children. In your last life, you then mentioned that why should a man want women with a lot of kids? Not taking ownership that black men are the one who's leaving these women with so many kids because they're not men themselves. And here you are, you want someone with no type of decorum, no type of chivalry. This is what y'all think about black women. We should just get the bottom of the bottom. You should get a bottom feeder, a crustacean.
Listen,
Absolutely.
If you with a guy in the streets and you in the streets, y'all both ghetto, it's nothing wrong with using the B word. It is what it is. That in the culture,
But
that's how.
But that's the thing. But why? But why? Like, why do we keep associating these ghetto terms with black people? White people are ghetto too. Don't get me wrong. And no, like all those things. Okay, if you want to have like a dominatrix type of sub relationship, yes, I can understand. Behind closed doors, you want someone to be more alpha man or more dominating to you. If you into that dumb thing. But to call me out the name, that means you have no respect for me as your woman. You think I'm your property. Okay, I already hate when people use the word female, but now you calling me a B, like, where's the respect? Because that means if your men don't respect you, that gives other men other liberty to disrespect you too, especially, like, and then look how it's going to shape relationships and how young people view relationships, how young black men going to view who's watching these black men see other black women and think it's okay. But I bet it was a biracial or a light skin or even someone not like it, but even someone who was white. You would have to see that mockery. So we need to stop like thinking that's okay to do because it's not. Granted, I don't expect much from Karisha or JT. I just don't. They could barely talk English themselves. Okay, so I really don't expect the most. But you did mention that church men are the best men. That is a lie. Didn't you say in your lives a couple of lives back that you messed with someone in church who was married? Did you mention that, Wiley? So how church boys are the best? They're actually the worst ones because they will preach in one hand and then do something right behind you and pretend like it's the devil that put me out there. Blah, blah, blah. Isn't that what Derek Jackson is doing? All the other preachers who've been preaching? You know, like, I think they're the worst type of guys. And actually, I've been told by church kids, don't mess with anyone in the church. No deacon, no usher, none of them. Just leave those men alone. But Wally, you beg differed. And that's going to transition into the second to last topic. These little raw shoes with the whole devil Satan thing. You know, I thought it was Nike. You can't have it both ways. When Jesus Walk shoes came out, Nike didn't do zilch. Didn't do anything. Okay? They got that, and plus it wasn't associated with Nike. Now it's the opposite. It's a whole different Ray-Tay nonsense. So if I was Lil Nas lawyer, I will argue that point. You didn't say anything when the Jesus Walk shoes came out. Okay? Because not everyone believes in God. I mean, I do, but I'm saying just to play devil's advocate here, no pun intended. But with that said, like, how you gonna let Jesus walk, but you're not gonna let the Satan walk? You know, like, I understand why, but it's kind of the principle of it. And they already shipped out 600 sneakers. What are they gonna do? Tell them to send it back? No. My last point, Wiley, because I know I can talk a lot and people probably gonna call in. The thing that you mentioned about the Rickey Smiley thing, yes, I understand suicide is a very important thing. We need to discuss more about it, especially those who have mental health issues. That's not what I'm commenting on. I'm commenting on what Rickey Smiley said about hair. This is what I'm commenting on. Hair discrimination is race discrimination because hair is something that's highly associated with Black people, and that people who are in power uses that as an onus to not hire us. Actually, there's a Crown Act that was recently passed that prohibits discrimination based on hairstyle and texture. There's also a study that stated that 80% of African-American women felt they needed to switch their hairstyle to align more with conservative standards in order to fit work. But in media, we see white people that try to have our hairstyle, such as braids, dreadlocks, anything else, and capitalize on that. But if we have it, something that grows naturally out of our head, as long as it's clean cut, now there's an issue. Any job that tells you that you shouldn't do it, they don't have white men with men buns. Don't have white women with pixie cut and all these raga hairstyle, and then use that as a way to discriminate against us. We are already discriminating against our name if it's too Afrocentric. And now because I was here and you agree that people should cut off their dreads, you know how long it takes to grow dreads? What if Hallie and Chloe cut off their hair? Look how beautiful their locks are. And even the word dreadlocks, it's a negative connotation. They're called locks for a reason, not dreadlocks, but it's locks. So I think we need to move away from that white supremacy type of mindset, because if I can't wear my natural hair afro, then I can't wear a lock. What else do you think we should wear, Wiley? What other hairstyles are out
Listen, you could live by that, and I agree with everything you said. But if it's a good job paying you $19, $20 an hour, and they said we don't want dreads, if you want the job, if you don't want you should be able to comply with it. It is what it is. Listen, you could fight that battle all day long, but why
would you want to work somewhere that's changing who you are?
It doesn't matter. If you have to feed your family, you have to feed your family. If you have to feed your family, you have to feed your family. It is what it is. And you could work with some jobs that a black person will tell you. What if a black person tell you that, hey, I don't want you wearing dreads at the company, we don't allow that, just a cut, a low fade.
That's a part of anti-blackness.
I understand that. I understand all of that. But if you need to feed your family, you need to feed your family. Okay, that ain't the time for you to do a protest and a "we shall overcome" moment. That's not the place or the time. You do that because if you want that job, you got to comply with that job. It is what it is.
It's illegal in 3 states to discriminate against people.
But not in all states, though, ma'am. Not in all states. If you work in the states that don't have those crown laws that allow the employer to make the rules, then you have to listen to what the employer said. It is what it is. If you just like the employer might say, don't come here with no pink hair or no ruby red hair, that's not your. That's very different. That's not your haircut. Your hair textures, and you come in there with some purple or green hair. It's the same.
I agree. Hair colors need to tone down. That I agree with, because that's something you can actually change. But you're asking someone who has put in the time to grow their hair how it usually grows. If it's well groomed, why are you discriminating against their hair? Because it's not their hair that you're worrying about. I'm worrying about, can you do this job? We want all sorts of people working our job. That's like saying, oh, if you walk with cerebral palsy, we don't want you. That's discrimination against people who are disabled. Or if you have this type of list, we don't want you. That's discrimination against someone who can't help how they are. So my question is, why are we using that type of anti-blackness if we have gone through that all our life?
All right.
Discrimination is race discrimination.
I hear what you say. It is. It is very is. All right. I thank you for your point. Thank you. You're right about that.
You're welcome.
All right. Okay. Let's go to the next caller. We have a lot of callers in here. 8536. You live on air. 8536.
Hi, Wiley.
Hey.
It's me, Nikita.
Hey.
Hi. So a couple of things. The last caller, she kind of recanted pretty much everything I said in the chat, but I think the whole situation with Rickey Smiley really isn't about the hairstyle at all. I think the Rickey Smiley himself is very hard on all of his nieces and nephews, and he definitely subscribes to respectability politics, and it sounds like you do too. This ideal that we have to present ourselves and look a certain way in order to be respected, which I feel like is a fallacy. We're seeing more evidence every day that even when we align to these white supremacist views of how we're supposed to present, it doesn't automatically equal advancement for us. And when I say advancement, I'm talking about actual advancement, not just you getting the bag. So I find it real strange that you would advocate for someone to change who they are for a $20 an hour job where they may not even be in front of the public. And I think it's kind of strange that on one hand, it's don't protest because you shouldn't do this you need to follow the rules to get a job. But the reason why you can exist, I can exist, and other people can exist in a lot of different fields is because someone protested. Someone said it's not fair because it's not. And so it's kind of sad to see someone as young as you feel that way. Moving on. I think the city girls, the last caller made some statements about how they're like ghetto. I think the city girl situation with Lil Uzi Vert really highlights how Black women interact with each other when a man is involved. So there's women who feel like JC should have corrected Uzi. I feel like even if she gave the correction, he doesn't really respect her in that way, and he doesn't respect their relationship. So is the gifts, the bags, the money, all the things that he's doing for her, does that supersede her relationship with Karisha? And this to me was another example of everything doesn't need to be on live. Everything doesn't need to be for consumption. If they got issues, they got beef, then don't go on live with it. Like, just let's not. And then lastly, the little boy with the makeup, y'all, he's a pedophile. And I'm tired of the apologies. I'm tired of him giving all these disclaimers. He goes out and he intentionally looks for straight, underage young males. He's got a problem. I don't want to hear yet another apology from him. I don't even want to see his face no more. And that's all I got.
Oh my God, really?
I'm serious. I'm so serious. Listen, if you are over the age of 21 and you are on Snapchat engaging with people in conversations that are questionable, and you are, I'm not going to even say celebrity, and you're over the age of 21, that's a problem. That's a real problem. And you just said it. You just said he's checking IDs. And
I agree. I agree with you on that. I feel like if you have that certain type, you need to get help. I think it's guys that in their 30s look like they're in their 20s. You need to get people that are legal. And my thing is this: he been through this before. You know what I'm saying? This is not the first time that he's been in this. This is not the first time.
He keeps doing it.
So if you keep doing it, obviously you're the issue here. You know what I'm saying? And you keep dealing with these 16-year. Because I'm like, why do you keep going on Snapchat and dealing with, you got money? It's plenty of people that will date you that's your age. Period. You don't have to keep getting yourself.
There's plenty of people who would date at his age. He's got folks that can screen. At this point, he has enough celebrity that there should be 6 degrees of separation between him and any piece of trade, any piece of sale that want to forward. So the fact that he's willing to play the game says to me that he likes the danger of it. He actually wants to get caught because he actually has a problem.
Yeah,
this is the same young man that there's been allegations that he's drugged people. This is the same young man. This is like the second or third minor situation. He has a problem, and I am tired of people parading these types of issues in front of us, and everybody gives it high take. Sit his ass down. He needs to be set down.
Yeah,
he needs to be.
And I don't think he will ever be canceled because younger people follow him. And he's white, so of course he'll get a pass. But if that was somebody black or them parents, they would have had lawsuits.
And let's just take one step further for the LGBTQIA. So you have a white male who's over the age of 21, who's engaging in behavior that the heterosexual community loves to say, see, this is why the gays are bad, because see how they're out there trying to convert kids and deal with your kids. He is giving them, substantiating a stereotype that is not realistic and that is not a truth.
Mm-hmm.
Cancel him. I don't care how much blush he put on. I don't care how good his crease eyeliner is. Cancel him. I'm tired. Listen, I'm tired. It's different makeup people out there. I don't need no makeup artist that's playing in my face every other week. I don't need it. And you don't either.
Right. All right. Thank you so much for calling in. Y'all are calling in this morning. Bye. Y'all get me together this morning, but we like it because y'all have y'all opinion. Let's go. 7180. Calling on the air.
Yeah. Hi, how are you? This is me again. Hi. I called in the other day to the show. I enjoy your show.
Yes. Go ahead.
Yeah. I'm the lady that called that was defending Derek Jackson's wife. So anyway, first let's pray for DMX. I really hope that he pulls through. And the second thing that about the hair situation, yes, I am for, you can wear your hair whatever you want to wear, you can dress however you want to wear, but it depends. If you have your own business, your own money, your own platform, then you don't have to worry about who's going to pay you. If it's Uncle Thomas, Uncle Sam, Uncle who you know, I don't know who pays, you know. But if you are applying to somebody's institution or workplace, then you don't really have the power to say, hey, okay, I want to wear my hair dread. What I'm saying is that if you feel like you don't want to cut your dreads and you want to apply to that job, just don't go to that job because you're not going to be happy and that's not what you want. Then just create your own lane. But if it's a survival mean, that's what I agree with you, Wiley. If you have to survive to get this job with this pandemic, guys, there's a lot of jobs are not all virtual. I'm sorry to say this. They're not all virtual jobs. Like there might be jobs that you have to go in. I don't know. What I'm saying is a survival. If you don't feel like, you know, you want to, just don't apply for that job. But if you feel like it's survival, then you got to do what you got to do. I mean, you have the freedom, but it just depends where you apply to. I'll give an example. I'm a Muslim and I wear my turban and I will never take that off. However, sometimes if I go to an area, I can switch up my scarf. For example, if I'm applying somewhere that's, I don't know, fashion, instead of wearing my scarf a way where you can tell that I'm a Muslim, then I'll just change it and put it like a turban. I do feel bad sometimes, but it was a survival for me, but I never took it off. But it's hard.
Because my thing is this: if I go to a job and they're offering me $26 an hour, and they say, "Hey, Wiley, remove the dreads," I will comply with it if I want that $26 an hour job. Just like on Drumline, it was one of the rules that Nick Cannon played in, and if you can't name the rules, your head will be shaved. And he said, if you want to stay in this band, you got to comply with it. So, listen, we could all be about change the laws and stuff like that, but you need to feed your family today. You understand what I'm saying? And if you got 6 kids to feed, this ain't no time for you to talk about you about to protest, and you need to get that job. And then when other doors open up, then you can get into like protesting or whatever. But you need to first feed your family. You understand what I'm saying? And I say that respectfully.
I'll just not go to that job. If it required me to take off my scarf, I'm sorry, that's my red line. I will not apply, and I'll just go to somewhere else. I have to apply. But you know, to each to its own. You know, to each to its own, you know. So, yeah,
I hear you, and thank you so much for calling in. And I think that on your job, would they even tell people to take off their scarves, stuff like that? Usually, they respect religion principles. I from jobs that I work at, I've seen people. I've worked with Muslims that kept, you know, their head covered because that was their religion. You know, so I you know, so I but with the dreads thing,
I'll never remove it. I'm not saying that somebody cut off their dreads, but I'm just saying if you feel uncomfortable to apply to that job, don't go there. Go somewhere.
Go somewhere else. You're right. You're exactly right about that. Yeah. Thank you so much for calling in.
Okay.
All right. Bye-bye. Okay. Let's see. We got a lot of callers in here. I'm getting to everybody that's calling in a regular number. I get the anonymous numbers later. All right, 3376, calling you on the air.
Hey, Wiley, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Good morning. This is Katorbe. So I want to start with the Rickey Smiley topic.
Okay.
Working in a professional environment, you are absolutely correct. When you go into these institutions, you can't come up in there trying to create dysfunction, saying, well, if I can't do it, I'm going to sue. You the laws of the land before applying. And I feel like oftentimes a lot of Black people hate to comply because they feel it's some type of Uncle Tom thing. And that's not the case. That's just what the rules are. Everybody has to follow the rules. Otherwise, create your own lane. I love that. But as far as his nephew, that lady, the mother sent her son to Rickey Smiley because he was out of control. She could not control him. Where was his father? You know?
Facts.
And everybody knows Rickey Smiley is hard on his nieces, nephews, his kids. He doesn't play that. He plays by certain rules. So for her to blame that stuff on him, I didn't agree. Now, as for James Charles, he is a predator. How many times do we have to keep seeing this over and over? I'm starting to be convinced that YouTube don't care as long as it's bringing in them some type of revenue or money, because we saw what happened with Jeffree Star and all that dysfunction and whatnot. and Tati Westbrook already exposed him, and they called her a liar. But this is like the 8th kid, the 8th teenager that he accidentally or was inappropriate with. Is that the new thing? Just say you were inappropriate and we just cover it up? A mess.
And where the people parents at too? Can I answer that? Where the parents at when this is going on? I would like to hear from the parents.
I want to see why the parents aren't saying anything. They're probably getting some money. It seems
that's
like
true. Yeah.
he's the new Robert Kelly for the white community, if you know what I'm saying. As long as you cut a check, it's okay. As for Lil Nas X, you can't take somebody's trademark and sell it if they didn't approve of it. That's the problem. I don't think they're going against black gay men. First of all, they don't care about the kids. Nike don't care about kids. They care about their bottom line. And they had way too many Christian people coming out here disrupting their bottom line, which is the dollar. So they halted the sales. It was what it is. Nas Mirage, aka Lil Nas X, is the biggest troll I know, and he got out-trolled by some people who've been trolling for a long time, the Christian community. Now for DMX, it's really sad. I'm a fan of his music, and to see he's still suffering from this addiction he's had since he was 14, it's alarming. And this is why I say you have to have positive outlooks. You know, the question, where was the parent? This is another case where nobody cares that DMX was getting high as long as he was producing, you know, making money. This man sold 74 million records, and he's not even a millionaire. That's sad. That's sad.
It's really sad.
So, like him turning to drugs, and keep going to drugs because a grown man gave them to him. It's just really, really sad. I wouldn't wish that on my own enemy. Crack is something hard to shake. Once a crackhead, always a crackhead. There's a reason why they say that, because you get the itch. Working in centers like that, you see it all the time. Addiction is one of the hardest things to fight, and he's in a sector where people love to get high. As quiet as this cat, the music industry, there's a lot of people who are out here always high, whether they're sipping something, smoking something, injecting it, they're doing it. But those are just my thoughts, Wiley.
Okay. Thank you for your thoughts. All right. Love you. Bye-bye. Where we at? Okay, we can go to this caller. 5840, you're live on the air.
Hey, Wiley. So Couture basically said that thing that I was thinking about saying on here. So I noticed that you mentioned you have to give these artists their flowers before it's too late. And I see everyone now is pray for DMX. So where was the love prior?
I think he got a lot of love.
Really show him.
I think, well, he did the versus battle, and I think that right in there, people were giving the flowers. But I just think DMX, he got nobody to blame but himself, because he went to rehab, he got help, he got back on the drugs. I mean, what more do you need?
But like Couture Babe just said, is addicted.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
It is.
We have to, I don't know if the industry, because she said when he was 14, I don't know the age that he went into the industry, but it has to do with something in that field.
Right.
And we need to call it out, because look at Little Mo. Tasha K just did an interview with her, and she was battling drug addiction. It's like Whitney Houston, all these people, and they're all in this industry.
And most of them, when Houston got into it before the industry, and I think DMX was on drugs before he got into the industry. But again, they have nobody to blame but themselves, because they have the resources. I feel sorry for the people that don't have the resources to go to rehab, that don't have the resources to go to a treatment program. DMX got the money to get into the best rehab that money can buy, as well as Whitney Houston. But if you keep doing it, this is the end result. This is the end result, and I'm not shocked by it, because he's been on drugs for a long. With DMX been on drugs for a long time. I'm not shocked. Just like I wasn't shocked when Whitney Houston OD. I wasn't shocked.
That is so true. And before I get off of here, I didn't call in to like bring him down, but I do want to give a positive note on DMX coming from me. Yes, this is the icon from New York. DMX is very kind-hearted. my friends and I and other people were in a seafood restaurant. He came in with his entourage and he purchased everyone's food. So,
that's
like,
good.
you have to talk positive as well.
You have to, and people will talk positive. Of course, the media going to talk about his drug history, but I think his music. I love it. What was one of my favorite songs? You gonna make me lose my mind. Up here, up here. That's one of my favorite songs.
Up here.
Stop, drop, everywhere. Stop. Whoa. This is a Rough Riders roll. That's one of my favorite songs. I like DMX because going to the gym. Let me be clear with you. When I'm in the gym, I'm listening to DMX music and I just be sweating because that really gets me in the mode. And what is this other movie that he did? He was real sexy back in the day. The DMX back in the day was everything. So I watch his movies. Oh my God, he was everything in that movie. He was just screwing on, and he was real good looking back in the day. Because that's when he was smaller,
So do you? The question before I get started: do you stand on what you said? You have to start showing flowers before it's too late.
Yeah, you should. I still stand on that. I still stand on that, giving people their flowers, and then also too, we need to hold people accountable and tell people, "Hey, man, you need to get off the drugs. You need to get some help." Because even when DMX was on Yana Fix My Life, the dude came up high. He was high. So we do need to call our individuals out, but we also need to give them their flowers. But your legacy will be tarnished though by the drug use. Because even with Whitney Houston, when she died, even though people were giving her flowers and stuff, it was kind of tarnished because of the drug use. The same thing with Michael Jackson, with whatever drug that he was on. So I would say this: give them their flowers, but people still gonna be bringing up, well, he was a crackhead. It is what it is. But I'm gonna give him his flowers, today. Yeah. I'm gonna listen to his music because I gotta move some stuff today, and I'm gonna be playing his music on Station Head, you guys. So make sure y'all follow me on Station Head. We're gonna do like a DMX mix and talk about DMX on Station Head and stuff like that, and tell the people, get off the crack, don't do the drugs, because this is the end result. And I still stand by legalizing all drugs and then put money into rehab, into treatment programs, because people gonna get high regardless. Period. Now, drugs is illegal where he at, and he's still getting high. He still was able to get high. Go ahead, Icon.
Yeah, and it's so sad to say that he's been in the industry for a while, and he's just worth $1 million. I looked up his net worth.
Do you know why? Because so many people sign these bad contracts. They don't handle their business properly. And with DMX, he spent a lot of his money because he had a drug problem. And so he was just spending. And then a lot of times he don't own none of his masters. So
Kaya warned us about the industry.
Absolutely. They don't want to listen to people like that because they are brainwashed. If you don't own your masters, you are a slave to the industry. That's why when Prince, when he was dealing with it, and you got to deal with the drugs. They was the prescription pills he was on. But he stopped calling him. You couldn't call him Prince. You have to call him something else. I think he used to call himself a slave, or he used to put, because he didn't have his masters. And then once he got his masters back, then he had OD'd and stuff. That's questionable because he was on them prescription pills. So it ain't just people that's on crack. You got people that's addicted to prescription pills that they get every month or every week. So I just hope if you dealing with an addiction, go to a treatment program. But go ahead, Icon.
Can I put this City Girl topic before I get off of here? Was that JT talking to Santana?
No, that was JT talking to some black woman. That wasn't Santana.
Oh, it was a lady. Okay, because I seen somebody in the comment asking that question.
No,
because Santana's supposed to be her friend, and she had, when she was on live, somebody was saying get that effing F off of here and stuff like that, and she didn't even stand up for her friend.
No, so I just think with them, it's so ghetto. They're so ratchet. So us trying to really speak on that, it's just two ratchet girls in the ghetto that's dealing some hood ninjas. Let's just be clear with it. These are not high.
I think they might split in the future.
Of course, they might split in the future, but right now I don't think they should because they're better with each other. You know what I'm saying? I think eventually they might split, but as of right now, child, that's just as normal what they going through. I think we blowing it out of proportion because that's probably, man, that's probably what they're going through. And what they need to tell their men is to put their man in a place. Hey, let's not interrupt the bag. They'd be stupid to break up right now because they get a bigger bag together. In my humble opinion. But Southside, he didn't need to come out and say what he said. Lil Uzi need to stop playing with whatever her name is. They said he was playing with her, that they were joking. I'm gonna play that live so y'all can see it because I just pulled it up on my computer. But they said that he was just joking.
And did you see Southside Daddy come out and was dissing Southside?
You saw about so I did see Southside video. You saw about the one that he was cussing out Lil Uzi, or was it something else?
No, his father was dissing Southside.
What? His father? Oh, he probably ain't getting no money.
Yeah.
The daddy probably bad at Southside because he probably ain't getting no check. When you see family members calling out a celebrity, usually it's because they ain't getting no paper. Where'd that come from?
Yeah, but I'm gonna let the next person call in.
Okay.
Go back in the bushes.
And he probably want to screw Karisha. What is that her name? Lil Uzi probably want to get some of that Karisha puss. I mean, it is what it is. Let's go to the phone line. That's probably why they got beef. It's probably tension. 3154, caller, you on the air.
Hey, Wiley, how you doing?
Doing good. Go ahead. What's on your mind?
Well, DMX is a legend, okay? He might be doing a few drugs with the things that goes on in the music industry. These people were witnessing some things that we couldn't even imagine, things that we couldn't even make up in our head. They witnessing in order to be a part of the music industry. So sometimes they strung out on them drugs because they have images in their head they trying to get rid of.
But he was on drugs before he got into the business, though, caller. He was on drugs before he got into the business. Now it could have been hyping more because of what he witnessed in the business.
Right.
But let's be clear, he was on drugs before the business, just like Whitney Houston was on drugs before she got into the music business. So I mean, and what more can you say? He is a legend. I'm a fan of his music, and I'm still stream his music today. But let's just be clear, he was a crackhead before he got into the music business, and he had multiple chances to get off crack. I mean, we have to hold our people accountable. He had, and I don't feel sorry. You know why? Because he had the resources to get off of it. So I'm praying that he get out of this situation. I'm praying for that. But you know, what more can we say?
Yeah. Sometimes I wonder how much of rehab is based on getting to the actual issue and not changing your behaviors and your behavior, your patterns, and your thought processes. Like, are y'all actually figuring out what these people's issues are and working on that issue that's, leading them to turn to substances, or are y'all just, trying to help them change their habits and see the fault in their ways? So you know how they say, well, you can't get help unless you feel like you need help. Well, are y'all helping them with the right thing? Are y'all helping them with that trauma? Or just a bad habit of drinking or drugs or whatever. Do that make sense?
That makes a lot of sense. I want to respond to this comment. They said Whitney was not on drugs before the business. Yes, she was. Her brother got her on the drugs before she got into the business, and he did a whole interview, and it shocked the country. They was like, "Oh wow, the brother did it," because everybody said Bobby was the reason why she got on the drugs, and it was actually one of her brothers that got her on the drugs before she got into the business. So I am praying. But even when you go to rehab, they will tell you that you still got to put that work in. You still got to fight that temptation. So you can go to rehab, they can give you the tools all day long, but yet you still got to comply and don't fight into that temptation. I think with DMX, you got to change people, places, and things. I think he still was around the same people. He still was around the same crew that was around him, and he never changed his surroundings. I do feel sorry for DMX, and I feel sorry for his children.
People got to deal with their trauma. It's
absolutely.
Your trauma that's playing, that's leading you to do these things. You have to deal with that.
Yes, facts.
Now, DMX, that was a praying man right there. Now, if that's a legend. Now, if you ain't never heard DMX pray,
oh yeah, he is a good
prayer. You ain't never heard a prayer because he don't play when he get up there. When it's time for him to talk to the Lord and thank God, oh, that nigga don't play.
He don't play at all, and I'm gonna definitely listen to his music and play some of his movies as well today. It's gonna be a DMX day for me. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna have a good day.
Yeah, something about when a gangster prays. Now you know that your wits in when a gangster pray because they don't get up and just go out and kill whatever the problem is. They just go murder. Now you know if he sit down and pray, you know it's the issue when the gangster pray.
Right, I feel you on that.
I'm playing. Now this Rickey Smiley. Now I'm glad that everybody has. It's really obvious what he's missing the whole tone of what we're doing right now in 2021, which is fighting for our rights. Like, how are you going against what all the people deciding that we're going to fight against these, and there's still a couple of brothers hanging on, scraggling behind. Well, if you want to get a couple of dollars, you got to do what they said. It wasn't the employee's suggestion. It was Rickey demanding for him to do that. And they said, well, Rickey got him a car and an apartment, and he wouldn't need to cut it. Well, Rickey should have said that before he got the car and an apartment. That's some manipulative type of stuff where you run back and tell the story. I did all this. And when I asked him to cut his hair, he didn't do it. You should have said that before you did all that. What you recruiting the whole world and recruiting other family members for? That boy had already passed. So Rickey made a compilation YouTube video. You didn't just pull your phone out and say what your opinion was. You done recruited other family members to speak against this boy, compiled it all together in a YouTube video, and posted it for the world to see.
But it was to clear his image, though, because he's a celebrity. Protect the bag, protect his image, because his image was being attacked, and so he brought his people on to tell him, "Hey, he's a disciplinarian." This idiot.
Something he did. If he wasn't so busy trying to be,
I don't think he was at blame for that, though, man. I think that person, his nephew, probably has some type of mental issues, and that. Rickey Smiley.
So you gonna throw your family under the bus because you catching heat in the public?
No, I think that he had no right, because the family member threw Rickey Smiley under the bus first. They
did not. Rickey Smiley went on the radio, told all that boy business.
Oh,
the boy ended up dead a week later.
Okay. So, you give me some tea. So you're telling me Rickey Smiley was dissing him in the mama business on the radio before the nephew died?
All the boy business up the radio.
Oh, wow. Now, what was said?
The boy ended up dead a week later, okay? So we don't know if he could have went and got some different, maybe he used a different plug to get his drugs because he was that desperate. Like, maybe he normally waits, but maybe he got triggered because of all the pressure from the whole entire world knowing his personal business, and he went and got some drugs where he don't normally get them. You know what I'm saying? Not that that's Rickey's fault. Maybe he took more drugs than normal because he was getting buried.
Oh, yeah, it was the drugs. You're right. It was the drugs.
You know what I'm saying?
And my thing is this. He said you have to be cautious on where he got the drugs from. Get the person that sold the drugs. So this is really sad. It's really, really, really sad. But we have to stop going on these radio shows talking about our loved ones and using our power and our influence, because some people can't deal with that. So if he was talking about him on the radio station, I think that was wrong. If he was doing that before
that
he
was
passed
out of line,
away.
and instead of letting it go and admitting that he was wrong, Rickey got to say, well, it's all these women that like to base men. I'm tough on my sons and my nephews. It's 2021. We not playing that I'll do anything for $1 game no more. Okay. Where are you at, Rickey? Okay. And our employer didn't ask the boy to cut his hair. That was Rickey that was demanding of that boy to cut his hair. So you go deny somebody, you calling him your nephew, your son. You're going to deny him the opportunity to change his family's life because you feel like you want him to cut his hair. Because somebody told you that's what you had to do to make an extra buck. That ain't right. And then you go recruit other family members to turn against him. That's the stuff my family do to me. That's probably why I'm so worked up right now. Like, just because you feel like you did something, you don't got to turn the whole family against me. Well, give me a clip so I can make a YouTube video. Y'all better not be going over there with him because he didn't want to change his. You know what I'm saying? We don't know what position, what kind of isolation that boy was put into, and he used more drugs than he normally would have used or anything like that. Not that that's Rickey's fault, but I'm just saying. It's 2021. That ain't even what we're doing right now. When white people wear dreads, it's the latest trend. But when black people do it, you got to cut that off. All right, I ain't trying. DMX is a legend. If he could play at his own funeral, that'd be legendary right there. All right, let me go.
All right, we thank you so very much for calling in. Somebody catch super chatted. They said, quote, I don't agree with cutting off locks for a job. Hair is scarce, but it's great that we can talk about it here. Sacred. So we could talk about it here. Yeah, we can have a conversation about it because it's a conversation to be had. But if that was Rickey Smiley rule, then collaborated with it. Like, what's the problem? I don't see the issue. I don't see the issue with it. The issue with it, the nephew should have never got the drugs. The nephew should be blamed. He had to take ownership for it. He should be blamed for what he did. He took some drugs. The same thing with Bobby Brown's son OD'd on drugs. So we have to call out that behavior.
We ain't talking about the drugs. Like for other people, the issue is that why is Ricky throwing your own family member under the bus to save yourself?
But the lady, okay, but when I saw the video, how I look at it is
to talk down on the boy. Why are you throwing him under the bus because you get bad press in the public? You know what I'm saying?
Because he gonna clear his name and clear his image. That's how that's gonna go. Of course, he's gonna go live and say because he's gonna clear his name. That's how that's
so
gonna.
You
go.
Gonna talk mess about your family when people tell you don't talk mess about your family. You gonna throw them under the bus some more. That's not logical, Wiley. That don't make sense.
All right. Well, we thank you so very much for calling in.
Okay, love your show.
Love you. Wow, y'all.
Bye.
Y'all are calling in this morning. I am here for it. Okay. 1753, calling you on air.
Hello, Wiley. How you doing?
All right.
Good. So I guess I'm just gonna because I want to just dispute something that you said earlier. You said that locks were not religious, which I feel like it's a subjective the way you're thinking, right? Because you know the Bible as well as we all do, right? And locks is a sign of strength and inner power, which supports the story of Samson and Delilah in the Old Testament when his long hair was cut and Samson lost his immense strength. So I just want to, because I have dreadlocks, and so I just want to chime in and say, you feel like it's okay for Ricky to tell someone to cut their hair, but if it was a white organization or if it was somebody else or, a TV show or something like that, we'll be starting all types of petitions. So why can't we do the same? Like, why is it that, our own kind, our own Black people want us to cut our own hair, right? We feel we could be like, okay, well, we part of Muslims if they want to wear their hijab, or, if a white person get dreadlocks, it's okay. But then if we get dreadlocks, it's looked down upon, it's frowned upon, and you guys talk about it in such a derogatory way.
Okay. Well,
right.
Well, I want to say here about it. If you're getting paid $30 an hour for this particular job, then you have to cooperate with it. I mean, it's some law firms that you can't work with dreads in your hair. It's either you cooperate or just go and get another job.
There's also some law firms that you can't work with natural hair or with a 4C texture. So should we go ahead and tell people who have 4C texture to cut their hair off as well? I mean, I don't understand. Right. First of all, $30 is not like, a whole bunch of money. But if you feel like you really need it, fine. We're in a new day and age. You don't have to assimilate now. Like, okay, you know what? Let me cut my locks off, because now white people want to look more ethnic. Right. Okay. Aren't they darkening their skin? Don't they get dreadlocks as well?
Right. Well, you're right about that. But what I'm saying is, if I have a son and if you want a job, I would tell her, like, don't put it's going to be hard for you to job with dreadlocks in your hair. Like, that's a good advice. It's going to be challenging. Even you being a Black man, it's going to be challenging.
I feel like that advice is more subjective and how you see things from your perspective, right?
But it's going to be difficult. You don't think so? Having dreads is going to be that you might run into some loopholes having dreads as well as being Black?
I think so. I think being Black is difficult. I think being someone of
that too.
Skin
but then if you add on dreads, it's even more problems.
Right, but we could all put that in. It all goes in the same bucket, right? You try to go ahead and get a job. Not only are you 6'1", but you're also dark skinned. So you have to make sure you are more. Your approach is not as abrasive as other people, right? Because they already have that stereotype. Okay. So if you're like, okay, well, I'm gonna tell my son, or I'm gonna tell someone who have dreadlocks, okay, not to get dreadlocks. We already have so many things against us. Like, why not? That's like telling a girl, okay, well, she has to perm her hair in order to get into this, into this society or to this organization. That's the wrong message to pull out. What you could say is, okay, you know what? If you do have dreadlocks, let's make sure that they are presentable. Let's make sure we are doing it properly so it can look a certain way. So you can go ahead and present yourself, right? But not to just like negate the hairstyle altogether, right? I think that's the old way of doing it. People in the South and things like that, And another thing, locks is also found in history. We could date it all the way back to 25 BC, and even Hindus wear locks, or they wore locks back in the day. So I want to make sure, like, if you have a platform and I know you're saying your opinion, but I want to make sure you're also stating facts, not just talking because that's how you feel, but that's not the facts that we know of.
All right. Thank you so much for calling in. All right. Bye. Okay. Anonymous, you live on air.
Hello?
Hey, you live on air.
Okay. Hey, so I just have a general message. I know that DMX was on drugs and he's been on drugs for a long time, but I don't think this is the right time to address that he has a drug habit. We all know he's on drugs.
But that's the article. The article said he OD'd,
right?
So that's the conversation.
I know it's a part of the conversation, but the way it's being framed, you're kind of like blaming him. Like
you are to blame. Who else to blame if you OD?
You're kind of shaming him.
Ain't no. It is what it is. If you out here doing coke and you OD, you're going to get blamed. You're going to get blamed for who else to blame? You took the drugs. I don't see the issue.
I know,
here.
but can you at least just wait and see how this pans out?
Well, I'm reading the TMZ article. I'm giving my opinion, man.
Okay, anyway, so I think there's total assault against Black men in the media, and we have enough of that out there. TMZ hates Black people. They hate Black men, and of course they would jump on a story like this, and we're on here making it like 10 times worse. I mean, white people do this to us all the time. Why do we do this to each other? It's like how many people have drugs in their family? I don't know how many people with drugs, on drugs in my family. But it's like, people have childhood traumas. I mean, there's so many reasons why people get on drugs. It's like, why can't let's talk about, if we really want to talk about drugs, let's talk about why people get on them. How did the drugs get to the Black community? Where do these drugs come from? Let's not focus on the end result. Okay, yeah, this person's a crackhead. Oh yeah, this person's a whatever head. Let's be real. If we're gonna talk about drugs, let's talk about drugs. The history of drugs in the Black community. Like I said, how did they get there? What's going on in the person's life. I just hate how we jump on stuff like this. I don't know.
But with me is the article that has framed that he OD'd off some type of drug. So, and he's in like near death experience. He's not dead yet because we don't see the reports yet of him being dead. But that's why the conversation of his drug use is going to be brought up, because those are the articles the people reporting that he OD'd. So of course we're going to bring up the drugs. I mean, it's going to be a part of his legacy, part of the conversation. So or even with Whitney Houston, when she OD'd and drowned in the bathtub, you have to bring up the drugs. Same thing with Bobby Christina. They brought up the drugs. Same thing with Bobby Brown's son. They bring up the drugs because his son died from, an overdose of drugs. So of course we're going to bring up that conversation. We still can honor their legacy, but with honoring the legacy, we also going to talk about, oh yeah, he had a bad drug habit. It is what it is. That's just going to be a part of the conversation, and that's the way TMZ framed it. That's the way Neighborhood Talk framed it, and that's the way the Shade Room framed it. So, yeah, I don't think people are just gonna go around and just give him sympathy. They're gonna bring up what he actually was dealing with. I think that's what's going to happen, in my humble opinion.
But at least let's do him a service by adding context to it. TMZ doesn't add context to it. They don't talk about his childhood. They don't talk about this. They don't talk about that. But yeah, now he OD'd. Okay, focus on that. But if you look at the TMZ article, they don't even talk about none about his background, what accomplishments he's made. They only focus on the end thing. Like, okay, he's on drugs, he OD'd. I just don't. I think we could add another dimension to this conversation.
That's why it's so important for Black-owned media, for media that will give that sympathy and will give the history of that person outside the drugs. But we give so much power to TMZ because how many Black-owned media sites that are out there that's controlled by Black people that will give you the history of his 20 plus year music career and put focus on that instead of not putting all the focus on the drugs. But only big players out there that do celebrity gossip is TMZ. Really, it's not too many Black-owned media that is Black-owned that really covers celebrity gossip that on a mainstream level. And of course, you got the YouTubers, but most of us get our information from the Shade Room, which get their information from TMZ.
Okay, well, we're gonna not agree, and that's fine. But I have a comment on Rickey Smiley.
Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
I think Rickey Smiley is gay. I do. I think he's gay, and I think he's miserable because he can't live his truth. He is extremely sassy.
Wait a minute. How we get on to Rickey Smiley being gay?
Keep a straight face. But no, really, I do. I think Smiley is as gay as they come. Okay, like if he would come out of the closet, he would be so much happier. Every time I see him in the news, he ranting about something. And those poor little kids he's taking care of. Oh my God, they don't have so much on him.
Oh,
he's just miserable. Like come out of the closet. It's okay. You know, get with Donnie McClurkin. Somebody, I don't know. I just really think that it could be so much happier if he would just.
I don't believe.
OMG. Be himself. You know, get it. You know, go to the Gay Pride Parade there in Atlanta. Just really come out and be himself. That's all that's needed at this point, and then he'll be much happier.
Well,
that's what I have to say about that.
We thank you so much for calling in, caller. Thank you. Okay, bye-bye. Wow. Okay. 3071, caller, you're there.
Yes, everybody know that Rickey Smiley is gay. If he really came out the closet, he'd be another messy thief.
Okay. Okay. Well, that went totally left. What in the world? That went totally left. So I'm gonna play the video of Uzi. Some of y'all didn't get a chance to see it, so I'm gonna play it for those that did not get a chance to see it on their platform. So here we go. This was when him and they were going back and forth. So let me play it. Where we at? Right there.
It ain't even about that, because you know me. I ain't never got to see you, just like you ain't never got to see me.
Uzi, what you gotta say?
I'm about to say it. Let me get my whole speech out, because you know I don't do this. Okay? Yeah, I do. It's me. Look at my car. Look at my life. I do way too much. Okay. So anyway, Karisha. And JT told me, she like, Uzi, you ain't gonna do nothing to make it worse, so don't say nothing. But you know, clearly I run this shit, and this is mine, mine. So it's just like, Karisha, shut up. JT. If I told you tongue kiss me on this live right now, you're gonna do it.
Okay, well just say.
So just chill. Hey, you saw what I said to you, Karisha, because you left me on scene.
Yeah, because it's like it's understood. Me and you not friends, and we don't have to be friends. That's it.
But it's not about that, Karisha. I told you. You know, I ain't gonna say it on live. I already told you what be wrong with me. Everybody know what be wrong with me. You don't know me like that.
Yeah, but exactly. I never did nothing to you. This your second.
No, you didn't know. You see what I said. You saw what I said.
So at this point, it's just
and
like
it's my last. And look, and it's my last time. Like whether you like it or not, it's my last time. I would never do you like that. I'd never ever do you like that. That's not even in me. Like I won't do you like that. What you did to me? Like what you did to me? Honestly, tell me what you did to me.
All right, baby, I see what you want.
Relax.
What you want.
I'm not on no weirdo shit. What you did to me?
No, I'm just saying like you up there.
Yeah, I am up there, but I'm not gonna go there.
You're taking too long with my phone.
You're not getting on live anyway. That's number one.
Okay, so Uzi, you could just hang up and we'll talk off the live because it's a lot.
Yeah, because he's gonna.
No, I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm just saying you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I get
all right,
what you're saying.
I'll talk to you later.
Okay.
All right. Get off live.
All right, Karisha.
Oh, wow. Did y'all hear that? Okay, because I want to put it in context. Y'all hear that? But she's still with Lil Uzi Vert. So that's what it is about that. So I want to say shout out to all the producers. We will probably go back live later on today. I have a busy day-to-day schedule. Okay. Right. So thank you so much to the producers. We've been on live for almost about 2 hours. And so we want to say shout out to all the producers that called in and gave their opinion. But please, if you can leave us a thumbs up and comment below, we will love that. And we got another caller in queue. 0653, calling you on air.
Yes, hi Wiley.
Hi.
I felt compelled to call in because I just heard what Uzi said. Uzi has to grow up. He is too childish. That's very childish. That's not his girlfriend. Her son was in the background. I heard the son in the background. So you're cursing her out in front of her children. Did you hear what her baby daddy had to say?
So yeah, I did hear what the baby daddy had to say, but for people that the clip that we played, that was Uzi going at, you know, addressing JT as well as was that Karisha?
So disrespectful.
Yeah, very disrespectful. Yeah, very disrespectful, especially in front of the child. Yeah, you're right.
And Rickey Smiley needs to come out the closet. Your name is Rickey Smiley, for God's sake. Smiley is your last name. Be happy. Be gay.
I'm not gonna make a comment about that because I'm a big fan of Rickey Smiley, and I would love for Rickey Smiley to be my mentor. So I'm not gonna make a comment about that, about whatever you just said. Anything else you want to say? Oh, okay, they hung up. Okay, well, thank you all so very much, and we will go live later on Station Head. So y'all be on the lookout for that. I will definitely put y'all on the list. So I would go live again before I do Station, but not right now. I'm not gonna go Station right now. If you want to be notified when I go live, just text Wiley Show to 833-760-1691, and it's free to do so. Text the Wiley Show to 833-760-1691. Okay. All right. Thank you. It was a good show today. It really was. So if you didn't get a chance to call in, leave us a comment below when this video is done. Make sure y'all thumbs up the video. Thank you all so very much. And I will see you all in the next video. Y'all better leave my Rickey Smiley alone. Leave him alone.